Red Bull Racing hasn't won a single Grand Prix halfway through the 2026 Formula One season. For a year, this team was unstoppable juggernaut, turning Grand Prix into a masterclass of dominance. But as we sit deep into the 2026 season, the Red Bull outfit has found itself fighting for the lower step of the podium and completely on the back foot against Mercedes, McLaren, and Ferrari. Naturally, the paddock has been swirling with panic. Rumors exploded that Red Bull was going to pull the plug on developing their current car right off the rest of the year and lock all factory door to focus purely on 2027. But hold on, because technical director Pierre Waché just came out with a massive reality check. Red Bull is not giving up. In fact, a massive upgrade plan is locked in all the way to final checker flag of the year. If you think Max Verstappen is out of this fight, you are about to witness one of the most aggressive recovery campaigns in modern F1 history. To truly understand why Red Bull struggles so badly at the start of this new era, we have to look at the monumental gamble they took for 2026 when the FIA dropped the massive rule overhaul for 2026, introducing heavily electrified power unit with a 50-50 split between internal combustion and electrical output, active aerodynamic and 100% sustainable fuel. Red Bull made the boldest move in their history. For the very first time, instead of being a customer team or relying on an external manufacturer like Honda, they built their own custom power unit from scratch through Red Bull and powertrains in a multi-year strategic partnership with automotive giant Ford. Paddock insiders describe this transition as scaling Mount Everest without oxygen and building a state-of-the-art engine facility in Milton Keynes, housing over 500 personnel is one thing. Making it bulletproof on track against seasoned giants like Mercedes-AMG high-performance powertrains, and Ferrari is an entirely different beast. Sure, the Ford-backed power units show respectable baseline reliability, but the integration brought its fair share of teething troubles. Early race we saw driver Isaac Hazard suffer a heartbreaking retirement on lap 11 of his debut in Melbourne, while Max Verstappen openly voices frustration over energy deployment and the awkward mechanical balance of these new generation hybrid cars. The engine, however, wasn't even the primary villain of the story. The real culprit was the chassis, the RB22. When the car rolled out of the garage for the opening round, it was an absolute handful. The RB22 was heavily overweight, plagued by a narrow hypersensitive operating window and suffered from severe balance issue. Max Verstappen was forced to deal with violent understeer and entry, forcing him to throw the steering wheel and aggressively just to get the nose point toward the apex, only for the rear snap to instantly punish him to an exit. The tires were overheating and degrading at an alarming rate. Setup chains were yielding zero data correlation. Red Bull plummeted down the order, collecting a measly 16 points from the first three Grand Prix and sitting all the way down in 6th place in the constructors' standing. Max didn't hold back in his media session and admitting the car felt completely unpredictable and confidence inside the garage hit rock bottom. Media outlets everywhere predicted an early shutdown of the project, but inside Milton Keynes, the engineer team refused to buckle under pressure. First real glimmer of light appeared during the Miami Grand Prix, where the Red Bull rolled out a massive package designed to rewrite the car DNA. It didn't instantly hand them victories, but it worked. Crucially, the Miami upgrade helped shave off a massive chunk of the RB22 excess weight, slashing the overweight penalty in half, and introduced revised steering geometry that gave Max Verstappen the front end bite, and he desperately needed to push with confidence. Following subsequent tests through the European League in Canada, Austria, Belgium, and Hungary, Verstappen managed to drop a deeply flawed car onto the podium time and time again, and securing a crucial third place finish to keep the team alive. And that brings us to the recent update from technical director Pierre Waché. Speaking candidly to the media, Waché admitted that while the recovery is encouraging, the team is still not operating at the elite level they demand. But more importantly, he confirmed that the development is not stopping. Unlike public expectation, Red Bull has locked in a continuous upgrade pipeline that will run all the way to the final race of the season. Their primary target, eradicating the rest of that excess weight to hit the minimum F1 limit. and widening that painful narrow operating window. Pierre Waché has made it clear they are pulling out every single engineering trick in the book so that either Max or Isaac Hazard can fight for a race win before the season concludes. Why does this matter so much? Because of legacy and survival. Red Bull has maintained an incredible streak since 2015. They have not gone a single season without winning at least one Grand Prix. If the RB22 failed to take a victory this year, the historic decade-long winning streak come to a question. Furthermore, with Mercedes looking meaningfully strong and paddock pressure mounting regarding Max Verstappen's long-term future, Red Bull needed to prove right now and that they can engineer a race-winning machine under this 2026 regulation. So, I want to hand it over to you. Do you believe Red Bull can pull off a miracle mid-season turnaround and save off the remaining weight and steal a win from Mercedes and McLaren? Or we are truly watching the end of an era resulting in Red Bull's first winless season in over a decade? Drop your honest thought and prediction in the comment below. If you love deep dive technical F1 breakdown, hit that subscribe or follow button right now. We bring you inside story from the paddock every single day. Thank you so much for watching.